A good morning routine that you can actually be consistent with has three key pieces: simplicity, specificity, and sustainability. Don't you just love saying the word specificity? Let me move on. If you are trying to create a morning routine and you feel like you keep failing at it, it's probably because you're not keeping it simple. You're making it too complicated in the beginning for you to be consistent with, or you're not being specific enough exactly about what it is that you want to do. And that's why it has not been sustainable. So if you want to create a morning routine and actually stick to it, really consider, how can I keep it stupidly simple? How can I make sure that I'm being super specific about what I'm going to do in the morning, so when I wake up, there's no wishy-washiness? And how can I make it so it's sustainable for my current lifestyle? A good morning routine needs to hit each aspect of your overall health. What I mean by that: I'm talking about your physical health. I'm talking about your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health. And the good news is that there are so many things that actually you can get a 2-for-1. I go into detail and I give some ideas in my morning routine guide. But for example, if you're talking about something like body movement, right? So like body movement is obviously good for your physical health, but it also is good for your health mentally, right? It also makes you feel good emotionally. If we're talking about meditation, that's really good for your mindset, but it's also good for your spiritual health. So really think about a holistic morning routine that encompasses the three key pieces of being simple, specific, and sustainable. Without those three things, you will not be able to stick to it. If you want to be consistent with a morning routine, you have to keep it stupidly simple at first. Hear me out. So you want your routine to really hit the different areas of your health, as far as your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health. But that doesn't mean that you got to do everything, especially when you're first starting out. When you're first starting out, your only goal is consistency. And the only way you're going to be consistent, especially if you've already been falling off a lot, which no shade, it's happened to all of us. But the only way you're going to be consistent is if you keep it simple. Keeping it simple could mean starting off with just 1 to 3 simple things to do in the morning, not trying to do everything. It could mean making sure that you're planning it out in advance, setting yourself up with a good nighttime routine, which is something I also talk about in the guide, and just making sure that you understand the habit is more important than the amount. Start where you are. So what are you going to do first thing in the morning whenever you wake up? You want a morning routine. You want to be more consistent. You want to stop falling off, which means you need to have some specificity whenever it comes to that routine. What time are you going to get up? Where are you going to do the first part of your morning routine? What do you need for that routine? Whether that is clothes, pen, pencil, headphones. Where are these things? And how long are you going to do it? And literally, the more specific you can be, the more likely that you're going to be consistent. Here's why. When you know exactly what it is you're going to do, you don't have those thoughts of, oh, well, what am I supposed to be doing again? Oh, well, I am kind of tired. Listen, especially if at this point you're not a morning person, right? Like, you're going to be more likely to take your ass back to sleep if you don't know exactly what it is you're going to do. When you wake up knowing that you have a plan, sis, you got this. Stop hitting that snooze button. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Don't scroll. You've been wanting to have a morning routine. You want to wake up with a plan. You want to wake up not feeling scrambled and all over the place. You want your life to feel like you have more structure. You want to start your day off with really good intentions. But when we start our days by literally hitting the snooze button, we are already setting ourselves back. Listen, I used to be a snoozer. I get it. Hear me out. Not only are you now putting yourself in this cycle of interrupted sleep by hitting that snooze button, which is literally just like fucking up your shit altogether. On top of that, you're literally already saying, I'm not sticking to my first commitment of the day. Snoozing is not your friend. I hate to tell you, I'm not here to judge you for doing it, but if you want to be consistent with a morning routine, practice not hitting snooze. That morning routine that you keep trying, but you keep falling off, is not sustainable. And listen, I get it, but if you want to do better, then let's talk about what's important whenever it comes to creating a sustainable morning routine that you can actually be consistent with. You got to start where you are, sis. I hate to be the one to break the news to you, but you have to start where you are, and there is nothing wrong with that. If you right now you keep trying to get up an hour, 2 hours earlier than what you're used to, like chill. Start with 10 to 15 minutes. If right now you keep trying to meditate for 30 minutes, meditate for 5. If you keep trying to go to the gym and it's not working, take your ass outside and walk for 10 minutes. You have to focus on what is sustainable for your current lifestyle. Stop comparing yourself to what everybody else is doing and focus on what can work for you. This is literally why my guide is all about how to build a routine that works for your lifestyle. Start where you are. You want a morning routine that starts your day with intention and good energy, and one that feeds all the aspects of your health, right? Your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health. But honey, that starts with what the fuck are you doing the night before? You have to set yourself up for success the night before if you want to be consistent with a morning routine. I have literally had clients who have done their all for getting up in the morning, but the biggest challenge is that the night before, they were not doing what it took to actually make it realistic for them to wake up the next morning. So maybe if your morning routine is something where you keep falling off, it's time to really think about, what am I doing at night? Do I have like a certain time where I am settling down? Like, do I know what I'm going to do at night in the morning? Whenever it comes to the morning routine, remember simplicity, specificity, sustainability, and it starts with the night before. Morning routine 101. Do not check that motherfucking phone first thing in the morning. Hear me out. There's a reason why the only notifications I have on my cell phone are text message. And I have no social media, no email, none of that. And it is because y'all don't really need me to tell you this. You already know. You know how easy it is to get sucked in. And whenever we prioritize everybody else and what's happening online, we're not starting our day off with the intention of what it is that we want to do. We're not setting ourselves up for success. So if you want to have a good morning routine, that means your routine comes before checking your cell phone. I know that may feel hard. It may feel impossible. I promise you it's not. I used to check IG first thing in the morning. Now I don't touch my phone for at least 30 minutes before I wake up, but I had to get there. It takes practice, but it is 100% possible. Prioritize you first thing in the morning, not everybody else. Why you need to get your ass up earlier in the mornings. This is for the people who have been wanting a morning routine, but you haven't been able to be consistent and you've been falling off. It's okay. I get it, but I'm about to give you the tea. You know why I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning during the week? It ain't for nobody else. It is literally for me. It is prioritizing my physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional health. It is me saying that I am going to make sure that I set aside time for me out the gate at the start of the day. Because listen, life be lifing. You already know that. And that's why whenever we plan things in the evening, a lot of times it doesn't happen because things happen throughout the day. But when you plan it first thing in the morning and you actually do it, you're setting your day up for success. And every day you set yourself up for success just adds up to you setting yourself up for the life you want to live, for you being that best version of you. Better mindset, productivity, time management, health all around starts with your morning.